welcome to Make Your Passion Pay. I'm Luann Beekler, creator of the Make Your Passion Pay Playbook, your host and guide on this exciting journey to building joyful and successful work environments. Known as the Little Spark, I've helped countless individuals and businesses ignite their potential through transformational coaching, creating thriving businesses and joyful workplaces. I have experienced the challenges of leaving toxic workplaces and building something better. I bring firsthand wisdom to help you align your work with your values. With insights drawn from working alongside world-renowned leaders and a deep passion for community and connection, I'm here to show you how to lead with joy and purpose. Let's dive into today's episode and start making your passion pay. Hey everybody, it's Luann B with the Make Your Passion Pay podcast, where we talk about the 6 C's in the playbook to making your passions pay. Those would be clarity, connection, community, collaboration, creativity, and commitment. And of course, the almighty core values, I love so much. If you're an avid listener, we've come up with a lot more words that begin with C that we find and talk about in this podcast. But we just like to have fun and learn about businesses, business owners, and how they are being successful, how they got started, things of this nature. Today, I brought with me my friend Mark Nelson and client, and he owns Service Pros Plumbing in Rochester, Minnesota. He's been in the plumbing business for 45 years and owned his own business for 25 years. So you can bet there's an interesting story of his transition into his own business. He's already smiling about it. Hey, Mark, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. Thanks for coming in today and sharing with my audience. Do tell us the story of transitioning out of working for someone else and into your own business.
Well, it's really simple. I got fired. So I had to do something. It is true that I got fired, but nonetheless, it was something I wanted to try. Going into business for myself, where I'd worked previously, there were changes that I wanted to make, things that I wanted to do that just didn't pan out there. And so starting my own business gave me the ability to change things the way I wanted to change them.
Yes, you're being really nice about this. My recollection is you were in a toxic work environment.
I am being really nice. Yes.
Right? So let's be bold here, right? You're in a toxic work environment and you decided that it was okay to be fired because I can do it better than the way my former company was doing it.
Correct. I wanted to do it better. Absolutely.
Yeah. And was that easy to do it better?
It's not been easy, but what was really important for me was that customers were treated the way I wanted them to be treated. I think that's what bothered me most is I saw how our clients, our customers just weren't always happy with what they were getting from our company. And took a lot of angry phone calls, did a lot of mediation between customers and technicians, and it wasn't fun. It was draining, and it shouldn't be that way.
Right? We want to have fun. We spend more time at work than we do anywhere else.
That's so true, yeah.
Right? And this is why I find it important for people to follow their passions so they make it fun.
Right.
Right? So Mark, as I said, is also a client and has been through the work of the passion test. Share, Mark, with your passions.
With my passions?
For the business.
Absolutely. So really that it's a lot of customer experience and a lot about how technicians are treated or how technicians perform their work, right? But number one on the list was that our customers love the experience they have. You and I talked years ago about this, the Service Pros experience, and we always built on that. But that was the vision I had when I left the last company, was it should be a better experience. So that's always been really important to me. And that our technicians are professional and clean. They educate and talk to the homeowners, and it's not like a forced interaction. It's never a comfortable thing when you have to have a plumber to your house. I don't think people do it because they enjoy it, right? They call us because they need us. So we didn't want to make that even worse, right? That's a big part. That it's seamless, that the way that they're treated is the same way every customer is treated. It's not like we treat one customer different than the other. So that's important too. So every time we come to their house, they can learn and expect us to perform the same way every time. So no matter who the technician is, right? So that was really important. And given all that our technicians are comfortable in what they're doing, they enjoy what they're doing. It's not a job they come to and hate every day, because they get to interact, they get to educate, they get to offer options. It's just like an all-around good experience. And if they're having fun, they're going to project that, to our customers. So that was part of it. And that also leads into one of our passions was that we work with confidence and joy, right? So if we're enjoying what we're doing, we're making a customer's life better, they're getting some input into what's happening in their home, it's just all much better. So those are probably not bullet pointed, but those are our passions.
Right. I think that since I've been working with you and your team, what I realized is that there's a really significant client interaction between a plumber and the homeowner. Like, my history in my head was that I leave the house and the plumber comes in.
Yeah.
That's probably the way I operate. Your team would say that, but but really what you're talking about is making sure that the homeowner is there so you can explain and educate them about their plumbing systems, correct?
Right.
And help them to protect their household, one of their greatest assets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we all count on our plumbing to work all the time. We never think about what happens when it doesn't. We just take it for granted because it's in your home, it's there, it works until it doesn't work. And then you realize how little you know about it. And that's where I didn't want the disconnect to be, is where we come in, they've got a leaky pipe, we fix the pipe, tell them how much it costs, and then leave. We don't just fix something. We explain why it failed, how it could fail again, how we can keep it from failing, what they could do to make things better, offering them options that they may not even know about. And that takes a lot of interactions. And that's what we want our customers to feel, like they're in control because they're being educated and talked to like an adult.
Yeah. I've always said I don't want to know about my plumbing. And that's why I just call you, right, to take care of that.
And you and I have a level of trust, but a lot of people want to know, what their options are and understand it better, because ultimately they're deciding how much they spend. We don't want to make that decision for them. We want them to make that decision.
Right. So you always offer 3 options, correct?
Correct. Yeah. That's our goal, to offer 3 options.
Good, better, best?
Kind of like that. Good, better, best, or, cheap, not so cheap, and a little more. I don't know how you want to say it, but yeah, good, better, best. Sometimes it's not, say for instance, it's a toilet repair, we could just fix the toilet, which is probably what you called us for. But maybe you didn't realize a new toilet's just a little bit more money. And you're like, oh, I thought I was going to spend that anyhow. Maybe we'll just get a new one then. Well, there's a new one, and then there's this really cool one, that's skirted. And so we give those options because people don't know until you tell them about them.
Yeah, you don't know what
I don't know what they planned on spending, and I don't know what they were expecting. So that's why we talk about it. That's why we offer the options, because we let them choose what fits their budget, fits their needs.
Yeah, it is an excellent service. And his tagline is "Your peace of mind plumber." And that is truly it, right? That's why I have peace of mind that my house is functioning properly and I can avoid damage. Like, I know what damage can be done when the plumbing system fails, because I wasn't home and my kids didn't know how to turn off the water, and it cost me a whole remodel because there was
Yeah.
so much water damage on 2 levels of the house. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy how often that can happen. You know, you don't think about it because it doesn't happen to you every day, but it happens all the time.
Right. The other thing you do that's really impressive is you label the shutoff valves
Right.
so that people know where they are. Had that been the case back in the day, I could have just said to my kids, go to the laundry room and you'll see the shutoff valve. It's labeled, shut the water off,
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
but,
We label it, show homeowners where they're at. We also keep records on their customer file. So if they call me in a panic and they can't find it, I can look on their file and lead them to it. You know,
which is
get it shut off much quicker than me driving there.
right. Which is another cool thing that you're doing, customers, right? Another C word. It's all about the customer service. And you labeled more than just my water shut off valve.
Yeah.
So what are the other things that are labeled in there?
Well, we've labeled your main shut off. We've labeled your water heater shut off. We've labeled your gas tags. So if you need to shut gas off in emergency, we've labeled those too.
And there's another thing that many people probably are unaware of, that plumbers run gas lines.
Yeah, most of them do. Not all of them, but it is something we're licensed and certified in. So yeah, we do a fair amount of gas piping.
And give us an example why are we running gas lines?
Well, some of the fun stuff that we get to do is gas lines to maybe like an outdoor grill. So you don't have to change LP tanks all the time, a natural gas fired gas grill, or an outdoor fire pit, or a new indoor fireplace. Going to require a gas line. Maybe a unit heater in a garage so you can heat the garage. A lot of different things. New kitchen range. A lot of people don't like electric. I'm one of them. Love my gas range. A lot of people are like, if I can get rid of this electric range and put a gas one in here, I'd be happier, a lot more control. So all those things take fuel gas.
So really what we're all talking about here for my audience is the customer service commitments that Mark has implemented as a plumber in his business to give you peace of mind. I love that so much, the peace of mind plumbers. I liked your last one too, though, right? Giving you a better plumbing experience is the tagline you used to use. And that's still in your bio on the BNI website as well.
Yeah. And that goes way back to the time when, I first made the changes. I want it to be a better experience. Right? And peace of mind just seems to really fit with our company because I want it not just for my customers. Look, we've got your back. You don't have to worry about it. We've got you covered. We're here to help you out, right? But that the employees work with peace of mind too, that we're all enjoying what we do and work's not stressful. And, obviously there's stressful things that can happen, but we handle it. We take care of it. We've got it handled. We got you covered.
And so now you have a team of 5 of you.
Yeah.
When you started out, though, you were a one-man show, right?
Yes.
And when you left your former employer and started and hung out your old shingle, what was your intention then? To be a solopreneur, a one-man show?
No, it wasn't. It was to grow a team. It's kind of why my company is named the way it is. It's Service Pros, plural with S. It's Service Pros. It's not just me, the pro. I didn't picture a Mark Nelson Plumbing. It was a team of people that worked together, and I envisioned about 4 or 5 trucks. I think is kind of where I see a good, comfortable sized business that is out in the community helping out people. Didn't know how I was going to get there until I met you.
How long did you stay as a solo? How many years?
Well, how many? Probably less than a year. Because demand was high. The work was coming in. I couldn't handle it all myself. So I hired some people along the way. Let some people go along the way,
Yeah, because that wasn't very consistent, was it?
Right.
They came and went. That's why I
Yeah.
forgot all about them. I forgot
Yeah.
all about those people because they came and left. And why were they leaving?
Yeah. Lots of different things, but
Mostly,
mostly probably
mostly
because
because they weren't doing it Mark's way.
right. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we're modeling it the way we're modeling it now. Is sometimes it's harder to teach an old dog a new trick, right? I've been set in my ways for years, right? But I had the vision, and you helped me implement that vision. And the guys that are working for me now have been with me since they were young, much like how I started. I started when I was young, so I learned the ways that I was taught, and the same with these guys. They're learning what I'm teaching them. And what I'm teaching them is our passions, my vision, the vision you and I put together.
Yeah. And that helps them be excited about working there because they
Oh
can
yeah,
have the vision too.
yeah. And the work-life balance was so important to me. It's so easy to get burned out, you know, in this profession because look, most people aren't calling because they're in a good mood, right? They're calling because something's wrong. So if you're not in an environment that helps everyone obtain that peace of mind, it can be stressful, and that's not what I wanted for employees ever. We don't want it for our customers. Why would we want it for ourselves?
So a couple of things I want to point out for our listeners that we did creatively and corrected creatively. So when he talks about work-life balance, Mark was using a tagline. We're both in BNI. He's in the BNI network with me, and he was using a tagline, one great rate, 24/7.
Yep.
And what happened, Mark?
At some point, you work your way out of that because you just can't keep up with it.
Well, okay, I can remind you of the story. What was happening is they were calling Mark on nights and weekends
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
the extent that they would only call him on nights and weekends, and they would use their regular old plumber during the day. And so here's Mark working more nights and weekends than anybody else because of that tagline. And one of his passions personally was to be home when his son came home from school. And he was struggling with that at that moment. I said, first of all, stop saying that.
Yeah.
Using that
It seemed like a good idea early on.
Yeah, it did seem like a good idea early on. And I said, I think that people will respect your boundaries. Not everything is an emergency, though we may think so as the homeowner, right? And so Mark had to learn to create boundaries where he would say, look, I'll be there first thing tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm waiting for my son to come home from school. And I think people respect that we want to be a family, right? We want to be family oriented. And certainly we learned that through the pandemic even more, right? The importance of our families. But the point being is that sometimes we create the problem for ourselves because what we put out in the world, we create the problem for ourselves. And right, Mark, because he believed in that phrase at the time, wasn't thinking just stop using it. A third party outside, sort of knock knock McFly. Like, stop telling people that's when you work, right? Words matter. Words matter, and what we say, people respond to. So be careful of that. Now, what was the other thing I wanted to point out? Something with the guys.
But along the way, that one great rate, 24/7, its idea or concept was that, you're just going to pay what you pay. It's not like I'm going to make it worse for you because of something that wasn't in your control. And we still do that with straightforward pricing, straightforward upfront pricing. We still tell you what you're going to pay or what your options are, one of the three ways you're going to pay before the work's done. So you're still in control. So it's still not a shock when we're done as to how much it costs. So even behind the one great rate, it's still a great rate. We're going to charge you this, and that's what it's going to be. So
I love that straightforward pricing
Upfront. Yeah.
upfront that I, as your customer, know in advance once you identified the problem, like
Right.
this is it, and you have a in a booklet, right? So you know that you're not just making them up and pulling numbers out of the air,
Right.
right? Which is sometimes
Everyone gets to see
exactly
the
what you,
numbers.
yeah, sometimes exactly what you feel when repairs to my house, to my car, what have you, need to be done, and I don't know anything about how that pricing works. You know, the customer can feel very uncomfortable that the provider is just pulling numbers out of the air. So that book is really a powerful piece of what you do in your customer service strategies, the Service Pros experience.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I know what it was. So the other thing that we did, as Mark said, like he had a revolving door when he was hiring seasoned plumbers.
Season's a good word. Yeah.
And sometimes they were seasoned with bad habits. And teaching them the Service Pros experience was difficult to get them to shift out of their bad habits. So that's why it seemed like he had a bit of a revolving door. And then he got the opportunity to hire a young man right out of high school who, through the network, right?
Right.
Through the network, was connected with another business owner whose administrative assistant is the mother of this young man. And he shared with us that this young man didn't think he was college type. He didn't want to go to college. He wanted to learn a trade, and he wanted someone to teach him that. So Mark,
which was me. You know, I was in the same boat back then. I wasn't college bound. Didn't want to. I learned a trade. It was way cool.
Yes. So after that's proved to be working out, we specifically started to look for other young men who had the same mindset of college is not for me. I want to learn a trade, and built up to 3 technicians on the team with that mentality. I worked with another gentleman who I happened to just reach out to. He is in landscaping, Hagelin Creative Landscaping. And when I was working with Ryan, he had a seasonal business, right? And so he had a revolving door because at the end of the season, we're in Minnesota, by the way, as you're listening, definitely seasonal landscaping. And he had a revolving door. He'd lose people every year, every fall, and have to rehire in the spring. So we actually wrote the job description to say, do you want to work for 8-9 months and take 4 months off? Right? If you're that kind of person, you should come work for us. Do you like to play in the dirt? Was our line. Because that's what they do. They play in the dirt all day long. Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to get creative with those things and really tell the world authentically who you are. And I think, you know, that's partially what you were trying to do with the One Great Rate 24/7. It just backfired on you a little bit. Yep.
Can you hear my dog? Good.
No, can't hear a thing.
She's having a fit.
So you were by yourself, well, primarily by yourself for 6 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then a little revolving door. Then we got it straightened out and implemented the core values, the passions that we were talking about earlier. I should have made that connection. We know that's core values. Yeah. We just use different language, and I use the tools, other shoulder, the tools of the passion test to help direct people. So Mark, what's your favorite thing about what you're doing now?
What's my favorite thing about what I'm doing now? Wow. It's always helping people. It's always helping customers, right? But it's been great to see the guys that are working, you know, with us be happy in what they do, enjoy their work. They love going out and doing what they do. They love going out, interacting with customers. They love solving problems. You know, and it's what I always envisioned. It took a while to get to it. And again, your help is what got us there. Forever, I think it would have just stayed, it's too easy to just stay where you're at and not move forward, get stuck and be busy in your work and not work on that vision,
I want to repeat that. It's too easy to stay stuck and just continue doing what you were doing, which, by the way, my friends, is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You want different results in your business, you want to scale, you want to make more money, then you got to change some things. You can't keep doing the same old things.
Yep.
So
it's easy to do the same old things. It's too easy to do it, it's too comfortable.
Oh yeah, the old comfort zone.
Right.
The old comfort zone that often is not so comfortable at all. So are you out there sitting in the comfort zone, praying for a bigger business, a bigger bank account, and yet not doing anything to change? I have a free 30-minute consultation right on my website, luannb.com. Click on that. We'll have a conversation about what's going on. And if I can help you, I'm going to try and do that, right? I'm going to use my tools to do that. If I can't help you, if it's something else going on that we will identify, and then I will connect you with someone in my network who can help you. That is one of the things I love about my connection to the BNI organization. I can always find someone who can help you with whatever's going on. So feeling stuck anywhere in your business, please jump on a free consultation with me. Mark, some advice before we sign off?
I just in the passion test, when we sat down and did that, and we did a 2, 5, and 10-year plan, wasn't that what we did?
Yep.
And then come 5 years later, we sat down and said, have we reviewed it? And then we haven't reviewed it, but it works, and you don't know that it's working. That's what struck me is we reviewed the 5-year plan. It's like, oh, check. Oh, check. Holy cow, we're doing this. We're doing something that I didn't even think was possible. Because I remember when we did it, I thought, this is crazy. How I can't think 10 years ahead. I can't think 2 years ahead, And we did it, and 2 years was gone, and 5 years was gone, and we hit those goals. We're on our way to the 10-year plan. Once we sat down and got it all written out, it's going to happen before I know it. And it just works. I don't know why or how. Well, you're the magic behind it, but the fact that I felt like what I was doing was probably not enough, but I guess what I was doing was effortless because of it. It just happens.
Effortless because of it.
You live those passions, you review those passions, you help your guys, your team work through it, and it's just been easy.
And it seems magical.
Kind of does, yeah.
It's weird. The power of words and the power of clarity in the direction we're going. And that's what a lot of people are missing. They're just out there treading water, trying to keep their head afloat.
Yeah, you said it before. Do you ever feel stuck in your job or stuck in wherever you're at? And I bet there's just tons of people that are like that. They're stuck, right? But they don't know that this option is there for them.
Right. We know this from studies that 80% of working Americans are not living their passions. 80%.
That's a lot.
Right. So you are among the 20% who actually clearly know where they're going and what they're passionate about. And that's fantastic. And I'm glad I could serve you and be of help to you and your team. They're a fantastic team. Hey, you need any plumbing services, call the Service Pros. Call the Service Pros, the peace of mind plumbers for all your plumbing needs. Thanks for being with me today, Mark. And all of you out there, really, it's time to live your passions. Give me a call. Have a great day.
Thanks, Luann.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Make Your Passion Pay. If today's episode inspired you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a rating, and share your thoughts in a review. Every listener makes a difference in spreading this mission of joy and purpose. Want to take the next step? Share this episode with your friends, colleagues, or anyone looking to build a thriving, values-driven workplace. Together, we can create communities where passion fuels success. Until next time, remember, when you lead with joy, you inspire greatness. Let's keep making your passion pay.